The nominees for tonight's show are Oscar-nominated star of Dallas Buyers Club, 4 times Oscar-nominated actress, 9 times Grammy Award winner, the star of BAFTA Award-winning Jonathan Creek. The winner is... do you want to do it? You do it. You do it. You do it. Say it.
Which bit?
Just that.
All of them?
Yes, all of them. Let's start the show. Welcome all. I am... All right. Really looking forward to tonight's show. Star of the hit new film, Dallas Buyers Club, Matthew McConaughey is on the show. Yes, he is. Top Hollywood actress Julianne Moore is here. Hilarious comic Alan Davies is on the show. Pop singer turned country music star Sheryl Crow is here. I know. It's a good lineup, isn't it? That's good. Good night to come. Yeah. Yes, Sheryl Crow is now officially a country singer. Yeah. She had to move to Nashville and wait for her dog to die, but she's done it. She has. Great to have Alan Davies back on the show. I don't know about, I love watching QI. It's such a good show. And you know, it's such an informative show as well. Mind you, you can learn so many astonishing things watching TV. You know, this week, I watched Celebrity Big Brother, and I found out Jim Davidson's popular. I did. Unbelievable. Who knew? Who knew that? Yeah. Julianne Moore is here, star of so many great films. In Game Change, of course, she played gaffe-prone presidential hopeful Sarah Palin. She did. Now, listen, we don't know if the real Sarah Palin liked the film or not. Here she is, the premiere. I'd say on the fence, wouldn't you? On the fence, yeah. Julianne is about to star with Liam Neeson in the airplane drama Non-Stop. Yes. Now, here's Liam in action. Right, now, you do wonder, what's got him so scared he had to pull his gun? That is terrifying. Now, listen, I can't wait to chat to Matthew McConaughey. Matthew's first big film was the coming-of-age comedy Dazed and Confused. Not the only celebrity who's been dazed and confused in a car. I know, little Justin, arrested in America for drink driving. And, like, how could he get done for drink driving? He isn't even old enough to drink. Or drive. Now, Justin quite rightly spent the night in prison, but the good news is he shared a cell with some believers. Yeah. Baby. Yeah. Let's get some guests on! Later, we'll be having music from Sheryl Crow! But first, he's more than ready to sing. It's Alan Davies! Oh! Hello, sir. Lovely to see you. Oh, sit yourself down. She's the high-flying star of Non-Stop. It's Julianne Moore! Hi. Oh, so lovely to see you. Come in, sit down. Julianne Moore, everybody. And what's that noise? It's Oscar buzz. It's Matthew McConaughey! Oh! Wow, lovely to meet you. Oh, God, so nice. Come in. Quite the couch, I think you'll agree. It's lovely to see Alan again.
Hello.
And Julianne, Matthew. Never been here before. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming here. And what an exciting time to be meeting you in particular, Matthew, because, my God, you're having the ride of your life right now. What an amazing time in the life of an actor. Obviously, you're nominated for the Oscar, but you haven't lost any so far, have you?
Haven't lost any?
Yeah,
I think there's some I haven't won.
Oh, no, there aren't. No, there aren't.
Well, I think there's quite a few.
No, you've won them all.
No, I think Jared Leto, I think he's got 30 for 30.
Oh
I don't know. I've got a few.
Wait a minute. There are 30 award shows? No.
Not award shows. He's won 30 awards. I found that out today. I know I haven't won 30, so there's definitely some out there. I
They weren't the good ones. No one wants to win them. But no, it is very exciting. I suppose presumably this is the lovely time where you're the nominee.
Time for celebration.
Yeah.
This is the dessert. You know, we go do the work. It's not why we do it, but boy, when you do something and a year and a half later, it's floating like this and it's vital like this, and people are going, you know what, we think that was some excellent work. That feels good.
And what's nice is they give you a nice long time to enjoy it. Like, it's over a month, isn't it?
It's like the Super Bowl in American football. You have the whole season, and then once you have the final teams, you give them a month between. So then everyone can start some rhetoric and start different stories up and have the anticipation build.
Because God love Julianne Moore now. You've enjoyed the nomination period a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many times? Is it 4 times now?
Yeah, 4 nominations, Academy Award nominations, yeah.
That seems mean.
Yeah, well, you say 0 for 4. Is that what you say? Or like 4?
0 for 4, but 4 for 4
Yeah.
for getting in, that's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah, let's focus on that. Yeah. No, the really mean year was you were nominated for 2 in 1 year.
I know. You know, my daughter felt so bad for me one year that she made me some awards. She made me a BAFTA. Yeah, it's this kind of a sparkly orange thing that looked like a fan. I don't know why. And
Are you sure that isn't the real BAFTA?
I know. Yeah, and she made me a Golden Globe. It was small and yellow.
Oh.
I know, right?
Because when you were off to the Golden Globes, was it your son wasn't that encouraging?
No, my son said, we were explaining to him what Popeye's going out to do, going to an award show, and for the show we did, Dallas Buyers. Remember when we were in New Orleans and Popeye was skinny? And, oh, yeah, I remember that. So we're going there tonight. And my daughter was like, Popeye, I think you're going to win. My son was like, at 5, he says, real proud of you, Popeye, but you're going to lose. I know it, you're going to lose. So I came home and touche'd him. Woke him up in the middle of the night. Did you see this?
Because, Alan, how old's your daughter now?
She's 4 now.
So is she kind of aware of what you do for a living now?
She's not really... I mean, we don't let her see much telly apart from Peppa Pig, obviously, that's obligatory.
Yes.
But so people do sometimes say, you know, hello. I play this character called Jonathan Creek, so people quite often say, Jonathan, across the street. She did ask me who Jonathan Creek is. She did say to me, Daddy, I said, yeah, who is Jonathan Creek?
What did you say?
I said, he's an arsehole. I said, he built the house.
Good old Jonathan. Yeah. Right. But listen, you're nominated, and God, you should be. We must celebrate your work in Dallas Buyers Club. You are just terrific in it. And it's a true story, and it's taken how many years to get to the screen
20 years.
Oh,
20 years.
Yeah.
Because your character, Ron Woodruff, he was alive when they started developing it.
He was alive when he went down, and the writer went down and interviewed him. So in 1986 and 1992, I believe he moved on. So he was interviewed, he then passed away, and they tried to get this made for 16 years unsuccessfully. It got very close quite a few times. So people believed in it, but nobody wanted to finance it.
But even with you attached, it still took 4 or 5 years.
Even with me attached, I said I wanted to do it, and people were like, well, that sounds great. But,
I look forward to seeing it.
yeah,
Bye-bye.
great. Let me know when you find the change to make that thing. So it really took the right amount, the right people coming together. And you know what? It was the beginning of the year we made it. It was January. And I said, you know what? We're going to make it this fall. And the people around me said, again, great. You know, people have said that before. But we didn't flinch. And that was so we never left the door open. You know, when they go, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I think we need to push it to spring. I was like, no, no, no. Especially I was 40 pounds down. I was like, no, we're not pushing it to spring.
And I suppose one of the things, it's an extraordinary story because he's the hero of the film, and what he does is amazing, but he's not that sympathetic as a character.
No, I don't think he's sympathetic at all. I think he's empathetic, though. You know, I think that's part of the story. You see who he is, and you may be horrified by what he says and how he thinks, but you know he's a real man. And I know people in life like that. I may not agree with their personal politics, but if they are who they are, I go, well, you are who you are. And I think that's where we can empathize with who he is.
Actually, we haven't really explained what he did. So the Dallas Buyers Club is where he was getting medication from Mexico primarily.
He was smuggling in, he was given 30 days to live. All they gave people, AIDS patients at that time, and HIV patients, was AZT. The quality of life on AZT was poor. He decides to take matters in his own hands. He goes out of the country, Israel, Austria, Mexico, smuggles these unapproved drugs into America and sells them. He's a black market drug dealer out of a motel room. And he was making some good money, and he was keeping a lot of people alive, living longer. Well, the FDA in America didn't appreciate that, came down and closed him down 3 times, I think. but he found loopholes. He did a very clever thing. You couldn't sell the unauthorized drugs in America. So what did he do? He opened up the Dallas Buyers Club, sold the memberships for $400 a month. Clever little pirate.
Well, here he is, being clever, but sort of being caught out, trying to get some drugs into the country.
Walker, Dorsett, Blunt, Newsom, Jeffcoat. These are patients?
Yes, sir.
They're also the names of players on the Dallas Cowboys.
No. That's a hell of a coincidence, isn't it?
Isn't this a little ridiculous?
Well, you said it.
Can you prove these are patients?
Can you prove they're not?
And the movie opens here on the 7th of February. Now, an awful lot has been made of the weight loss. For English people, I think you lost something like 3.5 stone, is what we would say.
47 pounds. What would that
3.5 stone.
There we go. 3.5 stone. 3.5 stone.
That's a lot of
It sounded 3.5 stone sounds heavy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pounds.
No.
3.5 stone. But does it kind of frustrate you in a way that that's got so much attention, where you're kind of like still acting over here, and still doing really good acting?
I understood that, before the film came out, that's your headline. That photo that came out of me in the airport was the...
Wow.
Oh, that's how we get people to click on this site. I got that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say and happy that the reaction's been that once people saw the film, yes, the weight loss was something, but, I mean, you see, who this guy was. And it quickly became something more than the Matthew McConaughey got skinny film. If you see the film, it's obvious in about 30 seconds that that's not the film you're in.
No, but you needed to do it.
Yeah, this was not an affectation. This was not an eccentric idea I had about I think it'd be really cool if I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
This was one of those ones where you go, it's my responsibility to do this, to best portray this man. If I do not, I will be embarrassed. And you're also not going to buy the movie.
Your family and friends must have been... They must have been worried for you.
Yeah, I mean, the people that know me well. There were some people that got a little bit worried, but I said, I've got it. It was under control, and I met with the nutritionist, did it as healthily as possible. And my family was around me daily. It was so gradual, they didn't really notice it. My daughter one day said, Papa, why is your neck like a giraffe? That was... other than that.
What were you eating? Honestly.
5 ounces of fish, a cup of vegetables twice a day. Some pudding in the morning and as much red wine as I liked at night. But it was small amounts, and I gave myself 4 months to do it. So I just clocked off 3.5 pounds a month, and it just worked like clockwork.
Now, Julianne, you kind of had the opposite problem, because both times you were pregnant, you were in movies.
Yeah, just getting bigger and bigger by the day. Yeah, exactly. And you're trying to hide that. That's the horrible thing, too. When you're in Big Lebowski, I was pregnant and didn't tell anybody and had to fly naked, throwing paint, and then come down and was nauseous the entire time. And then I was pregnant again when I played the old woman in The Hour, so I was an 80-year-old pregnant woman. It was pretty inconvenient. Yeah. Really, really inconvenient. So I wore a raincoat the whole time and kind of hunched over. And but it was
wardrobe now?
Yeah, no, yes. By then, of course they did. But if you can imagine all my old age makeup, my wig and everything, and then you look down, and I was like 7 months pregnant. What happened to Grandma?
No, weird, because Alan, didn't you have a weird weight thing?
I did. I got asked to go for an audition for a part, and I turned up and I met a guy in this kind of ante-room outside who I knew, who's huge. He was a really big actor. I said hi, and then hello, and then another guy came in who I half knew, and he was also enormous. And I looked around, and everyone was enormous. Quite cramped in the room. There were some snacks, they'd all gone. I said, what part are you here for? And I can't remember what it was now, Roger or something. And I said, yeah, I'm here for Roger as well. And I went in, and there were 3 people, and they looked up, and they looked down, and they looked up again, and said, have you lost some weight? I said, no, I've always been this shape. Oh, OK. Well, you may as well read it anyway. I said, really? Do you want me to read it or eat it? Shall I just eat it?
Dear. Now, I remember, I think it was 96, Vanity Fair coming out with you on the cover.
Yeah.
Where it was just before A Time to Kill.
Yep.
It was to promote A Time to Kill. Yeah, Her Brits took the pictures.
Yeah.
And I think, was that the first time ever someone who wasn't a big star had been on the cover of Vanity Fair?
Someone told me that. I don't know.
It's only as a reader, I was like, "Who the hell's that?" Because you always knew who it was.
No, it was sort of. I'd been in films, and you brought up one of them earlier, Days Confused, before, but that was the first time that over a weekend, my life changed pretty quickly. I remember being I went to the supermarket to go get my groceries on this Friday before, and I looked down and I was like, "Hey, how you doing, McConaughey?" And I remember going, "This is weird, but I'm buying 2 of each." and put them up there, and she ran them through. And I was like, "Hey, look at that cover. You know that guy? Yeah. Okay, that's me right there."
And because it was so instant, your mom didn't adjust immediately.
No. I
Well,
bet you
moms
may have some
never
of these
do,
stories.
yeah.
No, they're so sincere and good intentions, but you just don't understand it, do you, Mom? It was the, you know, people started getting interested in my life and my history as has happened over a weekend. So all of a sudden, my mom shows up in these newspapers and saying these things. I'm like, "Mom, you keep that that's between us. That's between the family." Okay. I was like, "Trust me, there are people going to be coming to you wanting to know things about my life, but keep what should be private ours." Okay. All of a sudden, the next Thursday night, I'm looking at hard copy. It's a show in America that comes on, and there's my mom giving an escort through my bedroom. And this is where we caught him first sleeping with so and so. I call her, and she goes, "Oh, I didn't know you'd see it." I go, "Mom."
Because Julianne, in my head, I see you. You're a movie star. I know who you are. But you were talking somewhere and you were saying that people, when they meet you, you're often not what they expect.
Well, what happens, and I think this happens to a lot of actresses, people think they're saying something really nice. They say, "Oh, my goodness, you're so little." And you're like, little. Like, I thought you were bigger. I thought you were really big, but you're little. And so you're like, "Oh, okay." And or they go, "Well, you're prettier than I thought." And you don't know what to say. You're like, "Thank you. I think. Thank you." Yeah. So that's one of the things that happened.
And Alan, you did a thing in a park where it was like the opposite of being recognised.
Yeah, well, some people say, "Are you that guy off that thing?" You get that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you say, "Are you on television?" And you say, "Yeah, sometimes on television." They go, "No, you're not." I go, "Yeah, I am. I'm on a show." "No, you're not. What show are you on?" I do a show called QI." "No, you don't." And then this woman was saying this to me, and she had a kid with him who was about 10, and he suddenly goes, "Why are you lying?" "I'm not lying. You are. You're lying. What are you lying for? What are you lying for?" He looks at his mum, smiling, like this, we've got him on the run now. And she goes to me, "Dream another dream."
And now, Matthew, it's fair to say, since the whole Vanity Fair thing and that incident, you worked consistently. But it seemed in the last few years, I love the way that Hollywood comes up with names for things. What's it called? The McConaissance.
McConaissance.
The McConaissance.
I heard that.
The rebirth of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Like, was that a thing in your head? Were you trying to have a McConaissance?
All I knew is when I first heard a reporter say that, I was like, "Wait, go back. What'd you call that?" He goes, "McConaissance." I was like, "Well, it sounds good." No, I was recalibrating my relationship with my career for sure. And that meant taking some time off from doing the things I was doing. And the way I look at it, I don't look at it as any kind of rebirth. For me, I didn't have a coming to God moment, epiphany. I just said, I want to do some different things and show a different part of myself. And different chapter, same book, is the way I've looked at it.
And what's extraordinary is, because on the paper, you would not think that Magic Mike would be a stepping stone to being an Oscar nominee. You know, because it doesn't sound like that sort of film. But it was. I mean, you were amazing. Yeah. And is it true that the strip at the end was you? That wasn't... No one asked you to do... Oh, well, obviously, somebody allowed you to do
No, that...
He insisted.
He-
I would have done if I looked like that. Leave me nude at all.
Well, I remember that phone call when Steven Soderbergh, was talking to me about the part, and I was already on one knee laughing at this world and this pitch, and he goes, "It's not in the script right now, but Dallas, we think he really should have his own dance at the end. I mean, I think it'd be a good idea." And immediately in this ear, my head's going, no. And in this ear, it was like, "Are you kidding me? You have to if you get a chance. If you don't, you'll regret not ever doing that." And so, yeah, as soon as I found the song, which was Calling Dr. Love, and got that cleared, I was like, let's go have some fun, man.
And is it true the thing about you road testing the posing pouch?
The posing pouch?
Isn't that what they're called?
It's a posing pack.
You don't call them that in America, no. Those little things that you just about get things in with a string around the back.
And it's a posing.
The slightest move and everything's out.
Yeah. I read something where you walked around to make sure that it wasn't falling out of it.
No,
it was
what you had to do,
composed.
what I did do, which a lot of us did, is you put one of those on, and all of a sudden you find your body kind of gets a little inverted. So, I got to really loosen up, because this is a guy who lives in this thing and has to feel really loose and with it. So I remember going, and I wasn't the only one that did this. You go, I have to walk out there amongst the crew and have small-time, normal conversations like, so, how you doing? What'd you have for lunch? Hey, did you see the game this weekend? I had to go out and try to have some small talk in this thong without flinching. And it was hard.
And
because I wasn't, but it was.
You said it now. You said it now.
Yes. It was. Thank you for that. Took me up for that one. Well done.
The trouble is, you see, that your genitals aren't sensitive enough to a change in temperature. So if something does slip out, it needs to immediately feel cold, so you're aware. But I remember being on holiday with friends and one of my friends was talking to someone in a bar, and he was sitting like this, you know, in shorts. And we knew that one of them had popped out. And he didn't know because he didn't feel anything, and that's a design fault or a fault of evolution.
But now, talking of sex symbols and heartthrobs, Alan Davies, down the end there, you topped a list last year. Do you know the list you topped?
Yeah, well, he wasn't on it, I know.
No, he wasn't, no. Alan was top, but you... No, not a mention of you. No, it was Marie Claire. They put together a list of men you shouldn't fancy, but do.
And in brackets, because you might catch something.
Do you know the person I feel sorry for? This is because other people on the list were people like, you know, Snoop Dogg was on the list. But you won't know who this is, but Declan Donnelly was on the list, right? But Ant wasn't even on the list. That's got to hurt. They were double act, Ant and Dex.
TV presenter.
Yeah.
Oh, they left him out?
Yeah, so Dec's a weird crush, Ant isn't even that. She didn't... Dear. But now, we must just celebrate your work in rom-coms, because there's such a hard thing to get right. And you were in a lot of really good ones, big successful ones. But the thing that you are a master at is the rom-com lean.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
There's
seriously.
That what the...
No,
he's talking about
no, the posters.
There's a poster run here.
Here's the classic.
Okay,
yeah, that
I think this is where it started.
Is that where it started?
I think, because watch where the leans go from here.
Yeah, so this lean, there's the nice lean here. Then there's a variation on a lean with, actually, funny, Jenna Garner, your co-star in Dallas Spice Club.
That's like
But
a
notice,
joke.
now we come from the first one, though, How to Lose a Guy, also because it makes $125 million. People really start to go, hey, the lean on the poster. That's the way to go.
That's why they're
The
going to
last
see
time
it.
you leaned, we did this amount of money, so then we come back and we did Ghost, and there's another lean. There's a big lean.
Well, I'm not a trained actor. I feel you over-leaned.
I was really getting arrogant with the leaning at this point. Yeah, I was really
Very
getting...
lucky she was there, actually.
Yeah.
Could have really hurt yourself.
Whoa! Even at your Dallas Buyers Club weight, you would have flattened her. Very good. Now, before we move on, we must also just mention Wolf of Wall Street, which you are a genius in. And they obviously, a lot of people have seen that movie. It's done really, really well here. And again, it's one of those things that a lot of that character apparently wasn't on the page. It was stuff that you came up with.
Yeah, now look, Terrence Winter, the writer, when a writer writes a scene and gives dialogue to a character, and it starts off with, they're in a five-star restaurant, he pulls out a bump of Coke, takes it, orders martinis until they drop, then says, hey, young man, how many times a week you jack off? Great. And also, let me tell you this, the secret of this business is hookers and cocaine. I mean, talk about the roof being taken off. I was like, well, who's this guy? The vernacular, the imagination ran.
What is the thing you're doing with the banging and the humming?
what's that?
What is that?
Yeah.
Is it a meditation technique or?
That's something I do before scenes.
He's learned how.
I've been doing it ever since.
You already look more successful.
That's something I'll do before scenes to relax myself, get my voice to drop. I've been doing it for a while, but it's just something I do to relax myself, get out of my head. And I was doing it before the scene, and then I'd start the scene. We do 5 takes. I'm happy. Martin's happy. We're about to move on. And before we moved on, Leonardo raised his hand. He goes, hey, hang on a second. He goes, what's that thing you're doing before the scene? And I told him, and he goes, what if you put that in the scene? I was like, yeah, great. So the next scene, I started it off, then gave him my Mark Hanna spiel, and didn't know if it was going to come back, and it hit me in my head. I was like, oh, well, now get him on the same rhythm, because now he understands, pass the torch. And then started it off.
And, like, did you do it before you came out here? No.
On the way down the hallway, I was sure humming and making noises. I wouldn't beat my chest, but I was definitely finding the rhythm.
Will you be doing it in the limo on the way to the Oscars?
Probably.
Yeah, I would like to think of you doing it in the
I'll find some sort of rhythm. It's different every.
Look at him,
every
he's
character is
obsessed.
And now, cocaine. Cocaine for you? Cocaine for you?
Absolutely.
Julianne Moore. Your movie couldn't be more different in a way to Dallas Buyers Club.
No, I know.
Well, no, because it's Vitaly, non-stop. It's a proper big Hollywood seat-of-your-pants thrill ride movie.
It's very old-fashioned, too. It reminded me of those movies I loved when I was a kid, like Towering Inferno and Poseidon Adventure, where you follow a group of people into a situation and something's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen, you don't know how they're going to react, or who the bad guy is, or, you know. Yeah. But I sit next to Liam Neeson, which is always a good idea. Right? And where's my seat? Oh, hi!
And you should fancy, and that's absolutely right to do.
That's right, yeah. If you're going to be in an action movie, who do you want to sit next to?
Yeah, who's going to save the day?
Who's going to save the day? The guy on the poster.
You know, it reminded me, is this a weird thing to say? It reminded me of Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, exactly. All the different characters, you don't know who they are. They're very mysterious. My character's extremely mysterious. And it's kind of it's a little bit of a whodunit.
Yeah, because Liam Neeson plays a U.S. Air Marshal. We're allowed to say that.
Yeah, you can.
And now, Liam is obviously a very iconic actor.
Yeah.
And what was the story with your daughter and Liam?
Yeah. So, you know, we text, we Skype, we text a lot because she's 11 and a half, so she loves to do that. And she was like, Mommy, what'd you do today? And I said, I spent the day with Liam. She's like, oh, my gosh, how fun. I said, yeah. I said, I have a picture. You want me to send you a picture? I sent the picture, and she looked at it, she's like, who's that? I said, that's Liam. She goes, no, Liam Hemsworth. I said, that's Liam Neeson. She's like, who's Liam Neeson?
Listen, we've got a clip. This is you and Liam in action. I don't think it needs more setting up than that.
Just us. It's just we're on the plane.
You're on the plane.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Oh, non-stop.
Non-stop.
On the radio.
Roll it.
I've been wondering. Why the window seat?
What? Why the window seat?
Why did you sit next to me?
What?
I found a hole in the first class toilet. Clear shot to the captain. The guy who died had one of these embedded in his skin. Ever seen one before?
No.
The toilets were locked 10 minutes before the captain died. 5 minutes before that, I saw a woman enter. She's 70 years old. She said you went in after her. And she doesn't have Alzheimer's, if you're wondering.
Are you asking me if I saw someone else go in, or if I killed the captain?
I know. See, now you want to see the movie. But, annoyingly, you can't see it till the 28th of February. I know. Set your alarms.
That's right.
Yeah. And actually, for us, when you go to see it, us, you know, not you, us, it's a British airline.
That's right. Aqualantic, we're flying.
Yeah, yeah. But because it's a British airline, lots of familiar faces. How the mighty fall. Poor old Lady Mary, she's now an air hostess.
Oh, I know. Can you imagine?
I know.
Yeah.
Michelle Dockery, I guess something went terribly wrong with the inheritance, and...
She looks great in her uniform.
She does look very good.
Marvelous.
She's very
I
good.
spent most of the time trying to figure out what was happening on Downton Abbey.
'Cause you're a proper
I'm
fan.
like, oh, my God. I'm like, Michelle, come sit over here. I'm like, so what's he like in real life? Do you like him? Is she funny? Is she nice? Is she mean? And then I started trying to figure out the plot. Now, you know, we're behind in the United States. So we were in season 2, and I'd say, well, what about this guy? And I started thinking about Dan Stevens. And I noticed that Dan Stevens was spending a lot of time in New York City. And so I said, come here, Michelle. I was just thinking, I think he dies. And she went, and she turned beet red. She's like, no. And I said, don't tell anybody. I'm not going to give it away. And you never said anything. Not a word. Yeah, but don't tell me anything about season 3. I haven't seen it yet. So
Okay.
Don't tell me.
Some pigs go thirsty.
Yeah.
Actually, you are such a big Downton... this is amazing. Such a big Downton Abbey fan, you've become a British citizen.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I thought, I've got to go. Yeah, I have to.
You really have to, haven't you?
No, I have. My mother was from Scotland, so I decided to become a British citizen. Yeah.
Can you just do it?
Well, no, you know, you have to take all those tests and stuff about the Queen.
Did you do the test?
No, there were no tests. Just kidding.
But there are tests.
But you do.
There are tests.
There it is. I didn't have life in the United Kingdom.
Oh, I love that.
That's
a thin book.
Hello.
That's like a look at that.
It's Oscar nominee Julianne Moore.
Yeah,
Like to become a British citizen?
I could possibly.
So what did you do?
So I wanted to do it, and I was in Los Angeles, and you have your swearing-in ceremony, and it was very, very quiet in the office because that was the day that William and Kate were visiting Los Angeles. So I went with my sister and our kids, and I was sworn in. They were very nice. There was nobody there. And then once they said, you know, congratulations, you're a British citizen, they said, now you can come to the garden party. There was a garden party for William and Kate that day, and I couldn't come before when I was just an American. But once I was British, I had an invitation.
Talk about fast track.
I know, right? Yeah.
We've lived here all our lives.
No, you didn't get invited.
Rushing round of applause.
Well done.
William and Kate, free drinks. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Paying our taxes all those years. This is a genuine thing. Now, some of the questions, like, it's odd. I mean, depending on where you're from, some of these questions are quite hard. So, question 13 here.
You'll know that.
What must police officers do? Be rude and abusive? Obey the law? Make a false statement? Be politically neutral? I mean, that's a head-scratcher, isn't it?
On what occasion? In what context? They didn't mention that.
But apparently it's obey the law. That's the right answer.
Okay.
Yeah. You could get this in your exam. What are the titles of 2 novels by Charles Dickens? A. Harry Potter. Welcome all! Very good. Now, for fans of adventure sports, it's a very great time because, of course, the Winter Olympics are upon us. And this year, the BBC have a slightly unusual face of the Olympics. I give you Alan Davies, because you are presenting a programme about the Winter Olympics.
And we're doing an entertainment show about the Winter Olympics on Friday nights throughout it's 3 weeks. And so, yeah, I mean, don't ask me about how to do any of the sports. They're far too dangerous.
Yeah, because that's the thing, because it's a light-hearted show. It's called après-ski, and it's very exciting, I'm sure, but a lot of people to break legs and things.
People hurt themselves.
Yes.
These are all events where if you get to 40, you would think that. Do that. And, yeah, we're doing that. I've been skiing, I think, twice in my life, and one of them was in Milton Keynes.
And it's obviously a more political Olympics because of Putin.
Yes, there is that side of it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's coming on our show.
No? Really? It's funny, because we've got a bid in as well. We're really hoping, yeah. He wants to promote...
That'll be a hell of a sofa.
Can you imagine? I have to say, if they don't want gays at the Olympics, they should really change some of their signage. That's all I have to say. Now, the other big excitement is, we mentioned her, Jonathan Creek, back.
Jonathan Creek's back, a new series of Jonathan Creek.
Hey!
Yeah, we did the first season in 1996. And I was all set up for a Vanity Fair cover, and that was it. It coincided with the first day.
And you've got fans. I didn't know they were called this. They're called Creek Geeks.
I think they call themselves Greek geeks, to be honest with you.
And people dress up as you now. You tweeted a picture of someone at a party.
It is alarming, but it's true.
This is someone dressed as Jonathan Creek.
He's the one on the left.
Yeah. He does look like he just stood up at the party, but, oh, is it fancy dress? I've come as Jonathan Creek. And the other guy, I kind of think he went all out on the padding above the waist. I really feel he should...
He needed one of those, what do you call them?
A posing pouch.
Posing pouch.
Yes, that's what he needed. And the other thing is you're back on tour. Little Victories is the tour.
Yeah, my new stand-up show is starting in March in Australia, and then in April. Do you like that poster?
Are you upside down?
I had to go to Tibet for 4 years to learn to levitate. I jumped in the air and they took the picture.
Oh, is that all? Okay. It's clever. And so you start in Australia?
Start in Australia in March, and then I'm doing dates in the UK in April, and then more in the autumn. But yeah, we started quite soon.
And what are the little victories?
The little victories are the small moments in life where something goes right. I'll give you an example. My little girl, when she was about 18 months old, was sleeping on top of me, and I heard the noise that she makes in her throat when she's going to throw up. So I knew she was going to throw up, and I avoided it, and it hit the pillow. That's a little victory.
Now, it's time for some music. This woman has sold 35 million records. She's won 9 Grammys. She's back with a new album, Feels Like Home, performing her new single, Easy. It is Sheryl Crow, everybody!
Put on bug spray and we'll lose our clothes. Put out the lawn chairs and turn on the hose. We'll play Jack Johnson, he's the new Don Ho. Oh, we'll go surfing, surfing, surf the radio. Is that make it easy, easy to get away? Sit in the sun and drink beer all day away. It is easier anyway. Who needs Mexico? Oh, hey, who needs Mexico? Baby, let's stay home. Drink margaritas and take in the sunset. Later on we'll slip up to a king-size bed and make love, love, sweet love, 'cause it's easy, easy. Oh yes, it's easy, easy. You make it easy, easy to get away. Sit in the sun and sip tequila all day. You know it's easy,
wonderful. Oh, hello, lovely lady. Hi. So nice to see you. Oh, Sheryl Crow. Some of these guys, some of them I know. That's Alan there. Julianne. Matthew. Very good.
Funny, we catching each other over here.
Next, do you guys know each other?
Yeah, we do.
I actually saw Dallas Buyers Club.
Isn't it great?
And I texted Matthew. I said, I don't know if this is your number anymore. But I said, I just cannot believe it. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet. You have to go see this movie. Killed me. I mean, it just killed me, so.
Now, Matthew.
Yes.
Talk about how great her new album is.
When he got my new album, he texted me.
The single's called Easy. The album feels like home. And now, is this your first full country album?
Yeah.
And is this a one-off, or is this the new...
No, this is it. This is totally it.
It's country forever.
Actually, you know what? I feel like I've been doing country forever.
Yeah, it's a subtle shift. It's not like
it's subtle shit? Very subtle shit.
Yeah. You can hardly smell it. You can hardly smell it. It's... a subtle shift. Shift. Don't look for trouble where there's none. Well, we like it. We like it. It's really lovely. Thank you very much. So, listen, we're nearly out of time, but we do have time for a story or two in the red chair before we go. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So, who's up first? Hello.
Hello.
You look lost in thought there. Yeah. What's your name?
Afroza.
Afroza, lovely. And where do you live, Afroza?
I live in Essex.
Lovely. Oh, look. Yeah, Sheryl Crow applauded it. Yeah, Sheryl Crow's all over it. OK, and what do you do in Essex, Afroza?
I am a physiotherapist.
She is a physiotherapist. That sounded great. Tonight, Matthew, I am a physiotherapist. OK, off you go with your story, Afroza.
So I was in school and we had a church service. And part of the church service was that we had to light about 35 candles. And the Reverend asked me, because I was prefect at the time, and I went to go light the candles, but I must have been given a faulty taper because it clearly wasn't lighting the tea lights, and the taper just started lighting itself, and the flame just got even bigger and bigger. And I tried to shake the taper like a sparkler to make it go away, but it just made the flames even bigger. So in a panic, I dropped the taper on the floor, and I should have mentioned that as a prefect, you have to wear like a Harry Potter gown type thing. Oh. And as I dropped the taper, my gown caught on fire, so I had to disrobe in front of the whole school and Jesus and God and stand a bit and run behind the altar.
Good story. A little more. Yeah. That's a good story. Well done, everyone. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go with the red show, you can. Come to our website at this address. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your lot. Thank you so much to my guests. Sheryl Crow, everybody. Alan Davies. Julianne and Matthew McConaughey. I'll see you next week. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
And Graham's back next week with Gary Oldman and Nick Frost on the show, with news and reaction to the day's signings, a live special football focus on transfer deadline day coming next tonight on BBC One.